Think we're good. Welcome, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Hope you had beautiful weekends. It's been an incredibly intense, beautiful, blessed few days, and I couldn't be more grateful for it. I spent some time yesterday with some dear friends, just having coffee and chatting about the world. I'm gonna pull some cards. This card, it's funny, it's been coming up a lot for me, the Strength card. And we were just chit-chatting about life and about what matters most, what community really means to us. And I think that today my intention for us is to talk about rest, to talk about the Pluto transit that's coming up. I recorded earlier this morning, my November 2024. I almost said 2021. That's wild. My November 2024 video, which is called like Pack It Up, just pack it up. And there's shifts and changes that are happening that are coming from within us. It's not so much, you know, my chair's pushed forward, but like Aquarius runs the 11th house of community and friendships and wishes for the future. Happy Monday to you as well. And this transit that's happening on the 19th of November, this is the rest of our lives. This is a lifetime transit. So, whatever experiences we've been having since 2008 on a personal level, as well as in a collective space, it's over. It's changed. It's different. We're in a new season, a new chapter. And it does feel like a new volume. It feels like a new experience of the way that we deeply transform. We'll talk about Pluto, we'll talk about it in lenses. And it's about community friendships, wishes for the future. That's the Aquarius house, 11th house. Pluto runs the 8th house, which is Scorpio season, which is what we're in right now. The 8th house is doubly run by Pluto and Mars. So it's very fascinating that the Phoenix, I feel like the first time the Phoenix lights on fire, he probably doesn't know what's about to happen and is probably like, what the heck is going on? Like, what is going on? But the more and more he regenerates, the more and more the Phoenix shifts and changes and goes through these seasons and goes through the transformations that it goes through, the more it's like, oh, yes, I get to level up. Anytime it feels that shift, it's like, oh, okay, this is exciting. This is exciting. Good morning. Happy. This is really exciting stuff. Good morning, everyone. So, if you're just joining in, we're talking about the Pluto transit that's coming up. We're talking about rest and we're talking about the deep change that we're all feeling. I'd recorded my November video before this, and a lot of what's coming through is that, like savior that we kind of anticipated or we needed or, whatever that is us, and that we're shifting and we're changing in ways that I love this card. This is one of my favorite cards in the whole deck. Absolutely. This is the last card in the deck as well. And he's just vibing. Oh my God. I still need to get used to like the backwardsness of the lives. Where it's just like gently caressing his pentacle. And he's the epitome of the square peg in the square hole. Like he's the vibe. He's a vibe. He gets it. He understands I'm good at what I do because I'm good at what I do. And that doesn't take away from what you're good at, nor does it's a very Virgo card. And it's a very, as we know about Virgos, they don't mince words. It's I'm good at this, you're good at this, you're bad at this, I'm bad at this. And there's no ego attached to it. It doesn't matter. It's just, it is what it is, what it is, what it is. And in the world that we're stepping into, that we're creating with our thoughts, words, actions, and intentions, it's necessary for us to accept, like, oh, I'm good at this. I'm good at this. I want to do this. This jazzes me up. This feels great. Not in an obligatory way. He doesn't rush. You don't rush. He's not like, I have to do this. I have to figure this out. I have to do this. This is, people come to him for advice. This is consulting. This is all beautiful earthly realms, all beautiful earthly realms. Pull 3 to go with it. Let me get a major. You know me, I like to hammer major arcanas. Oh boy. Oh, love it. Love it. Reversed is actually pretty cool. He's kind of like the benevolent king. Like he's been through some things. He's better at what he does because of it. It's underneath it. Oh, love it. Love it. So what you do every day is all that matters. We're not promised tomorrow. We're not promised anything. It's kind of like, I love the phrase, like, yesterday is over, tomorrow doesn't exist. The reason they call it a present is because this present moment is the present. And so when things come up that feel as though they're knocking our crown off, just deep dive into it and just face it and just be as present as possible within that space. And understand that if it's coming up in that moment, it's meant to be seen, it's meant to be released, it's meant to be experienced, it's meant to be accepted. And it's just so I was talking unexpectedly about the stages of grief in the November 2024 video, just talking about how when experiences are coming up right now, since we're so close to the end of this Capricorn, this Pluto and Capricorn transit, I don't know if it's been for you, but there's been like peripheral things that have been coming up that I'm like, wow, maybe 5 years ago, that would have really just pissed me off. I would have been so frustrated about that. But now, like in the moment, like emotions come up instantly. I'm like, oh my God, I'm feeling these feelings. And I'll just sit with it and I'll just be with it. And I'll ask myself, literally, and this is a lot, what I'm about to talk about is not my specialty or my expertise, but it's IFS, internal family systems. That's a language where they talk not so much about, inner child and adolescent. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. I'm very emotional today. Cry like a baby. Feel it so deeply, friend. Feel it so deeply and let it, as long as you're in a safe space and you feel seen and heard. That's what matters most, that you feel safe to process. There's a few different things that I want to offer to that. It's when emotions come up, like big emotions, and it could be after an intense period of, I went through this, I went through this, I went through this, I went through this, and then you feel all these deep emotions. And so it's like the example that's popping into my head is, the first time that I really lived with myself. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna, like run around and do whatever I want and put things on the floor and nobody's going to be there to yell at me. And my nervous system finally was calm enough that really deep things would come up, really deep things. So it can be a really powerful moment when your body and your nervous system feel safe enough to feel your big feelings. And so I really want to offer that to you. This could be because you're doing such incredible work and you're just doing a beautiful job. You're so safe. And thank you for sharing. You are so safe to be here and to be emotional. You don't have to accomplish anything. That's something that a lot of people are really learning right now, is myself included, is that we are not our productivity. We are not what people believe of us. We are not what they need of us. We are not any of those things. We're safe to feel and process our emotions. So it's a really exciting thing. It doesn't feel like it always. It doesn't feel like it always. But just know that you're safe and held, and even feeling comfortable to share is a big deal as well. So thank you. So thank you. I feel like this, and I recognize sometimes that the astrology, I love using it as validation, but it doesn't always help. It doesn't always help. Where, I'm talking to someone and they just had a tremendous emotional release, or they're having all this happen and all this happen, and they're separating and all these things. And I'm like, oh, it's built into your chart. And they're like, that doesn't really help me right now, Sarah. I just had a Neptune transit. Amazing. That's great. Everything just fell apart. Thank you for letting me know that. I was like, And so sometimes I recognize that it doesn't always help. It doesn't always help to say that there's astrological validation for it. Just being in what you're in and being present for it and letting it come up. And I talk about this in the November video. It's 11:11 for me right now, but I know my West Coasters, it's not, but it's just, I noticed it. I have it before in my videos, but it's 11:11 right now. So there's there's an experience that came up recently, and I talk about it a little in the November video, that I went through the stages of grief. Yay. Make a wish. Make a wish. There was a situation that came up in my life that was very peripheral. It wasn't even within my current reality, but somebody had brought something to me. And I went through the stages of grief. I went through not even the stages of grief. My inner adolescent in my language came out, and the IFS, I think it's like the protector came out, was like, you could do this and you could do this. And if I say this person, I'm going to say this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And I drove around. I sat with myself. I went for a walk. I sat with myself and I just said, who's talking right now? I literally said to myself, who is talking? And I saw my inner teenager and, just, I just want to, can't believe somebody would say this lies about me. I was like, okay, what do you need? He said, I need you to go. And I was like, no, not what you need to go do. What do you need right now? I, had the rest of the day to really be with myself and really process this, everything. It was like the end of a client session had brought something up, and I had the rest of the day just to be with like, all the versions of Sarah. And at the end, I really found gratitude. I really, really, really found gratitude. And this is something that I've seen for a lot of people within my community, not in my inner circle, but in my acquaintance bubble that might not have the spiritual language or might not always speak from I statements, but they've had experiences come up in the past month or so that, somebody was saying something about me to somebody else. If anyone in your life, and this is why I went to gratitude, believes the lie of that peripheral person, they're not your friend. They're not your friend. There's not a single thing that anyone could say about my inner circle people that I would believe them more than my inner circle person. All that would say to me is, you're not my friend. There's like, thank you for showing me who you are. Thank you for showing me what the content of your character is. It's kind of like, oh my God, I'm trying to think of the original person. Her name's Evie, and I think it's like a Greek last name, starts with a P. She was in Secret Service. And if you know who I'm talking about, please comment below. She wrote like the book Bulletproof, I want to say. And she talked about when you're meeting people for the first time, or when you're meeting people, or you're in situations, is very much invoking the black cat energy as well for my feminines in the group, which is, don't just listen. Just listen. People will tell you who they are. And when they do, believe them. Believe them. There have been, show of hands, has anyone ever been in a relationship with someone who had, maybe narcissistic tendencies, and they would say things about themselves that were really self-deprecating, or like, I can't believe that you're with someone like me. And you're like, no, you're great. You're great. No. And it's like, absolutely not. If somebody tells you who they are, believe them. Believe them. I read an article a while back that said it takes up to 3 years to really get to know someone. No, but talking stage with one of them and I run. Yes, exactly. Who the last guy I dated used to say, why me? That was gross. Exactly. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for sharing. It's really those red flags go off now. Like, it's that soundbite that pops into my head where it's like, you do not have to worry about me. You do not have to worry about like, and I start to get up from the I'm like, nope, I'm good. I'm good. You tell me who you are and I believe you. I don't need to mother you. I don't need to teach you anything. I'm not here to do any of that. I'm just in my reality, and that I'm not going to try to take from your reality. I'm not even going to pity you. I'm not going to say that you're less than me in any capacity. You're just going to show me who you are. I will believe you instantly, and I will just keep on walking, and I will keep on walking. I'm going to read a comment here. Let me see. But still, I think taking 3 years in friendships or relationships to really get to know someone is really insightful. I really agree with you on that. It also, there's so many different lenses that we could. It's hard to be a line strider, just say non-judgmental, but also observant. Yes. Really great phrase that I saw on Instagram that I posted on my stories, which is observe, don't absorb. And that can be used in so many realities right now. In so observe, but don't absorb. And I find that for my nearest and dearest in my life, some of them, like a few people that are in my inner circle, one person that's popping to my head specifically, I've only known this woman for, I'd say like a year, less than a year. And we don't see each other very often, but every time we see each other, it's like the power of that connection. We both speak from I statements, we share, we offer our full selves to the friendship, and it's beautiful. And it's beautiful because I never want to close my heart, but to get into my inner circle, I agree with you. It takes a very long time to get into that inner VIP circle, the ride or dies, that type of an information. That can be hard while dating. I don't know how we'll go if I ever decide to date again. Thank you for sharing that. And it's really take as long as you need. Take as long as you need. There's there's a moment that I had with a friend of mine that I want to share with you where it was around, I want to say it was on the equinox. My friend had come over and we were doing some scripting and we were just sharing what we wanted for the next quarter. And I had said to her, I was having some, I'm sorry, I was having some body image issues and I was feeling self-conscious and I was feeling a little bit like I was ready to just say, I'm going to go into my Rocky montage and I'm just going to, work on myself. And then coming out around March when, it's the spring equinox, I'm in the Northern hemisphere. And so I was like, around that time, I'll be ready to, meet my king and ready to do this. And my friend, I really was so grateful for this moment. She's like, Sarah, I don't want you to go into a space. She's like, I want to offer you something that you had said to me a long time ago because we share and hold space for each other. She goes, isn't that somewhat of a dangerous language to say, I'm less than now, but once I'm here, I'll be worthy of love. Love can be in a flower. Love can be in a friendship. Love can be in a beautiful movie or a day where you're with yourself, Sarah. And she was saying, like, you saying that your body is unlovable, your king's going to love you no matter what phase of your cycle that you're in, no matter what is going on. You loving yourself and being healthy and being the most authentic version of yourself and going through all these stages, because I feel a lot of the time when it comes to this growth and when it comes to the self-development mindset, it's when we want it, not so much when I'm worthy of another loving us, but when we say, I want to experience real love. I know what not love feels like, and that is behind me. I know what not the healthy relationship feels like. I know what it feels like to be taken advantage of. I know what all that feels like, and that is behind me. But what I'm walking towards is a healthy relationship with myself, with the God of my understanding, with source, with energy. And so when those red flags go off, that's when we say right away, no, goodbye. This isn't for me. This is a non-negotiable. And we get to be excited and talk about things that we do want and things that we are excited about. And it's the same thing where it comes to, I see myself in the future and, I'm in a divine partnership and I have homes and I have family and all of that. And so when I'm with myself, when I have my Sundays, when I have my days with my friends and my VIPs, I'm just that version of me. I'm not less than because, he's not here yet, or I'm not, frustrated. I'm also not scared because when that moment comes, it doesn't matter what my judgments are of my human body. It doesn't matter what my judgments are of, it doesn't matter. I'm worthy of love in this moment. I'm worthy of love and abundance and connection right now. I heard something yesterday. Now that you feel pain, you can feel love. Yes, yes, yes. The best is coming. Agreed. It's dangerous to fall for that. I got to be completely healed and perfect before I get into a relationship. It's very, very true. Very. I was the unhealthy partner in this current relationship. I ruined his life with business and personally. I'm so regretful for it. I can't believe I did this to him. He didn't deserve this. Thank you, everyone, for sharing that. I feel as though when it comes to being what we've perceived, I'm going to go back like with all of these, when we've been a certain role in someone else's life, we both contracted that relationship. We both contracted that. Like, I'll speak from my statements, Angela. I've been the villain in many people's stories. If they see me coming, they're either like, I gotta go get excited about that, or they're gonna walk across the street. But I have a whole video on reverence for the villain. We learn quickly. We learn quickly. So it's okay to say, in my next relationship, I'm not going to do what it is that I've already done back here. But know that everyone betters themselves. Everyone goes through their experiences of depths. Yes, exactly. We've all done really interesting, and I don't even kind of positive or negative. We've played roles that we're like, why did I do that? But hindsight is 2020. We know now because we're so evolved and developed that we did things that now we would never do. But you only had certain tools. You did the best that you could with the tools that you had. And now you are a better person for it. You never do those things again. And that person will now recognize, like, oh, this isn't the type of relationship that I want, or whatever process they go through is their own, no judgment. But it's so okay. And it's really, like Jace was saying, like, amazing depths, amazing depths. I just burst into tears listening to this, realizing and grieving a version of it was just closed out from the past 7 years. Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for feeling safe to share here and to be vulnerable. This is an intense group. We process together. This is a really intense group. It cares about everyone's perspective. What do you think about astrology? Apologies, self-benefiting, or genuinely authentic? Yes, yes. So what do you think about apologies, self-benefiting, or genuinely authentic? I really think that, and please everyone comment below. I'll let you have your own conversation with that. I'll leave my perspective. And I want to say that it really depends on the current relationship. And you can reference like the AA steps when it comes to this. Whereas if it is safe to apologize to the person, and if it is both beneficial for you, then absolutely do it. Then absolutely do it. It really depends on, do I want this person to be in my life? Do I not want this person to be in my life? Whatever those types of like choose your own adventures it is, you can also utilize new moons or full moons. You can go with the cycles of the moon and write an apology letter maybe around the full moon and release it. You could do it in meditation. You can do it in so many different places, but really asking yourself the intention of it, because you can do it in the mirror and let that be with God. You can do it in meditation. So it's beautiful. I want to go back to Raquel. Agree. It's dangerous to fall to that. Got to be completely healed and perfect before I get into relationship trap. That is so powerful. And it also can be a lens of relationships. It can be a lens of work. It can be a lens of mental health. It could be a lens of physical health. All of these different things where perfection doesn't even exist. It doesn't even exist. There is no perfect version of ourselves that's, I did it, I figured it out, all these things. I'll speak from my experience. I've heard so many people that have, accomplished something. They've tried so hard to accomplish, whether it be writing a book or I'm a New York Times bestseller, or I'm in the relationship, or I'm this, or I'm that. And so many times, the majority of the times, it's like the feeling lasted for a few minutes and then it was over. And then it was over. And it's what's not what's next, but when it comes to creation, when it comes to mission, when it comes to all of this development, when you're on a leadership path, and that's that word I'm really kind of struggling with right now as well. Where when you're on a growth path, when you have the growth mindset, that's really the one that's resonating. We attach the dopamine to the process. We attach the dopamine to, I love living this life every day. I don't care what comes. I don't care what happens because this is my joy. This is my bliss. This is what really jazzes me up on a regular basis. And what is meant for me can't be taken from me. It's only meant for me. And so I really, really love that. I really love that we're processing so quickly. We're sitting with it. I like this. Oh, Jesus. Bent the cup. He's just lost in the sauce. He's just happy making his pentacle. And he has all these other pentacles. There's the little, the little yellow brick road that leads to town. So he's happy just living his life, just doing his thing. I want to shuffle again. I want to keep this out. I want to shuffle a few more cards. What does this community need to see today? Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. They're trusting the universe, God, their higher power, to have a bright, shining, sunny day. It's the Four of Wands, the four solid foundation of Wands, magic, fire, energy. When it feels as though we're living unconventionally or that conventionality isn't serving us, or maybe it's meant to serve us in a little bit, creative expression, staying calm, the Scorpio card over here. This season, for so many of us, feels so. What's popping into my head is we're trying to do things differently. We want to do things our way. It's okay to have a structure. It's okay to not need to reinvent the wheel, but just to do it in our own way, if that makes sense. Whereas I'll use astrology, for example. These are the same planets, any astrologer can read them. You can get the same information. Pluto's going into Aquarius. You can get every astrologer will speak about Pluto going into Aquarius. It really is just the astrologer that resonates with you. It's the way that they share the information. It's the way that you receive it. It's the tone of their voice. It's the expression of the, paper. It's whatever which way they show it to you. That's the way to receive it. But I want to flip the switch and talk about how you're giving. How are you giving? What is it that you want to bring to town? I'm going to do the ritual of this new moon to release any leftover heavy energy to finally to be ready to feel lighter again. I think that's a really great idea. I think that once you set that intention to release, and I feel so strongly, I'm glad you're bringing this up, that we can get even stuck in the rigidity of, I have to do this here, I have to do this here, I have to do this here, I have to do this here. With Pluto going to Aquarius, anything goes. The way that you want to show up in the grocery store is the way you want to show up in the grocery store. We're really shake, rattling, and rolling our community, friendships, and wishes for the future. What it is that we do want to be a part of. And people aren't going to know who you are unless you show up. You know? And I always go back to the sparkles on my face. When I meet someone randomly all over the world, doesn't matter where I am, and they're like, you have sparkles on your face, I can talk to you. You seem okay. You seem safe. And then some people are like, I don't want to talk to her. She's got sparkles on her face. And that's okay. It energetically just says she's for me, she's not for me. This is the person that I want to talk to. This is not the person that I want to talk to. And I was talking about this with my friends yesterday. We were having coffee, and this is a big deal because this is where our ego comes into play and we can check our ego. Whereas when we say no to someone, that's a yes for something else. That's a yes for someone else. So I feel as though how we can really, because this is about community friendships, like I said, wishes for the future. So I feel like this is about the people in our lives. We already talked a little bit about relationships. I'm going to read this comment. I think it's both. The ego will always be soothed by the fact you apologize. Oh, beautiful. Going to Jace. Okay. I'll let you two talk. I'm so sorry. I'm trying my best not to be like, oh, dopamine and let everybody talk. So since we already talked a little bit about relationships, when it comes to the Pluto transit, we are going to be, I would take this opportunity for November to really look at the people that we want to energetically share our time and space with. And so you get invited to an event and you're like, oh, I don't really want to go to that. You're like, oh, but I have to because this person will be there. No, you don't. You don't have to show up. A no leaves space for someone else to come. A no is a resounding yes to someone else. And so when we say, like, trust in your body right now, trust in the way that we're experiencing and feeling things, our bodies are receiving more light, more energy, more changes. We're ingesting so much information. I mean, even in this live, I'm in Massachusetts. I have West Coasters on here. I have people in different time zones. It's just, please comment below. What time zone are you in? Are you in the United States? Are you not in the United States? You know, I'm in the North Shore. I feel like maybe there's someone from the North Shore up here too. I feel like maybe one or two people. Exactly. Mountain time zone. Mountain time zone. And so we're ingesting content from all over Midwest. Oh my God, I'm so excited that everyone's here. We're connecting in such a quantum way, in such a multidimensional way from all around the world. I can pick up my phone and I can look over in Italy. I can be in Guam. I can be here. I can transcend time. I can research history. I can research all of these things. This is so incredible. But at the same time, it could be overwhelming for a human avatar, for our body. We're upgrading, we're doing our best, we're processing, we're speaking from I statements, we're looking at what's happening on the internal, we're doing all of this, and it's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. And so I mentioned last week that, the sun is in the 12th house for me. It's the sun is transiting my 12th house. My natal sun is in my fifth house of play, but the sun is transiting the 12th house for me. And so I've been so tired. I actually just met someone like 3 weeks ago and I noticed they triggered my younger self because they fear rejection and think they are unlovable. And I still don't know what to do other than feel it. That's a beautiful thing. You're sinking from your head into your heart. A lot of this is just meant to be felt. It's shining a light on certain things. And really, like when I process with my higher self, I just keep going, what's underneath that? Okay, I'm angry. What's underneath that? I'm not feeling safe. What's underneath that? My reputation. What's underneath that? My inner teenager. And then I just sit with the innermost working of it and just love it and just feel it and just say, you are safe to feel. You are so safe to feel. When it comes to the inner child and the inner teenager, think of, a kiddo that's having a tantrum at the grocery store. I want this thing. I want this thing. I want this thing. After they stem it out, after they tucker it out, you can move on from that, but just feeling it and being present with it and letting it come up to be released. So many of these inner workings, as well as past life experiences, are happening so instantaneously, as well as astrologically, the last degrees of Capricorn. Like so much is coming up that we can just feel it deeply and say, I'm done. I'm safe to feel this. I'm safe to allow this to flow through me. It's so okay and safe to feel and safe to feel. And so the reason that I wrote rest and the reason I'm like, because I look towards this time, and I mentioned this in my November video. I'm hopefully going to post it tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm not really sure. I've been getting in the habit of posting it before time stamping it and then going back and time stamping it. So I'll probably end up doing that. I hope that's okay. But so I've been having this. Okay. So in my past, during the end of October, early November, some of the most transformative experiences that my human life has ever known have been during this time period. I'm saying transformative because they were not always fun. They made me the person and the being and the light worker that I am today. And so I'm very grateful for them in hindsight. But during those moments, I literally thought my entire life was crumbling and falling apart many times over. And it has in the past been during this time period. With that being said, I've been feeling every morning I'm waking up and I am exhausted. I know because I'm having dreams, I'm in the astral realm, I'm processing, I'm in past lives. People from my normal life are coming up in my dreams. I've had that a lot. One of my dearest friends is having dreams about me and my friend, and then I'm having a past life about me and my friend, and then I'm experiencing her and her daughter in my dream. And all of this stuff, all of this stuff, all of this stuff. And so I was chatting with my dear friend about the next few weeks and the sun transiting, my ascendant sign and all these big things that are coming up. And she said, Sarah, well, why don't you just take a little break and, like just be with yourself and don't ingest, don't put stuff out, like just don't do those things. And I was like, what? Rest? Take a break? I'm not. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, I'm seeing it was this moment where I'm like, this account is telling me to be more black cat, and then this account is telling me to process this, and then this account is telling me this, and this account. She's like, girl, you need a break. You need a break. You need a little bit of a break, and that's okay. Like, you literally said that you were going to take a break for the sun transiting your ascendant sign. So then why not actually take a break? And I don't know if this has ever happened to anyone, and it happens sometimes I don't know if anyone has ever done restaurant work or has ever worked in restaurants where like the rush is over, but like you're still running around, you have all this adrenaline, and I'm like, there's no one here. Or it's like after you run this race and you're like, is everything okay? Is everything okay? And I feel like I've gone through this incredible season of life, and that we've gone through that as a collective, and that we've gone through all these different things. So I want to pause and, not feel what's the word? Like that I have to do so much. I'm, basically like the November video that I recorded, I put the channeled message in there, I put the astrology in there, and like I just put it all into one video. And I was like, okay, after you do that, like you could rest for a little while, Sarah. You can take some time. You can take some time. There's been such a weird feeling of impending doom in the air lately. I say this in a lighthearted way, but for real, it has been strange. It takes a while to wind down literally and figuratively. Yes, yes. So I want to really talk about that feeling of impending doom in the air lately. It's very much because we could go super positive, we could go super negative, and you're not the only person to be experiencing that. I personally live in the United States, so it's like you're seeing people make fun of it, and I've seen it in a lighthearted way where I saw just like a random meme that was like, I don't even know if next week we're going to be like at home or if I'm going to be able to go to the grocery store. Like, it's just like, I don't even want to speak those spells into existence. And so what we can do in those moments is, and it's a little bit crass, but it really helps me, which is I use the parable of the fart, which is when you walk into a room and you're like, somebody farted in here. You don't become the fart. You don't say like, well, I am a fart now. I am a fart. There's that feeling of anxiety, of impendingness, of polarity, of all that. That is the fart outside of you. That is outside of you. I want to really honor you because you're not alone in feeling this. It is very palpable. It is very intense. So when you feel that anxiety, spend a little bit more time with yourself in meditation. Or if that is not accessible, put on some music and stem it out and say, my body's feeling anxiety. I'm feeling this. I'm getting it off. That is not me. I am not these thoughts. I put a little video out about intrusive thoughts and nightmares. And it's very, very true. People are freaking out. It's so, if we look at our immediate life, like look around your room where you're sitting right now. You don't have, like the two candidates standing in your room. Like I'm in my living room. I have all of you here with me, but in the physical realm, I have my water, I have my coffee, I have my hands, I have my tarot cards, I have journals, I have my astrology. And I'm just here, I'm just present, and I'm just here. And so really great tools we can use is, am I here? Am I present? These are my hands. This is my body. I'm in my body. I'm present in my body. I smell a fa out there. Just use that. I smell a fa out there, but I'm right here and now. I am safe. I am boundaried. I am bubbled. I am protected. There's a free digital download that I have. It's called Sarah's Protocol. That's in my link tree. It's usually in the descriptions of most of my videos. It's not here in this description, but it's a free download. Love, it's so good. Use the fart analogy because we are all telepathic beings, whether we're aware of it or not. I think Raquel, having been this anxious, I actually never thought I could feel other people's energies. And that it's like when I talk to someone who's a Pisces placement or a Scorpio placement or a Cancer placement, that empathy, that understanding of somebody just got a text and their energy just completely changed. That's a telepathic experience. That's you knowing something so deeply. Or have you ever gotten a text from someone and they're like, yeah, I'm okay. And you know, you're like, they're not okay. They're not okay. That's an intuition. That's a clairsense. That's a deeper knowing inside of yourself, not so much your brain that you can figure it out, but you're like, something's off. No, that's not it. That's not it. And so having tools to be able to, and when you're going out into the world, have little safety things. Like, what do I have in my pocket? I have my rocks and stones in my pockets, my little fidget spinners. Yeah, I've got one, two, three rocks in my pocket. And I feel bubbled and safe and grounded and protected. I do all of my things. I have my spirit team with me. I do all the things that I feel better about going into the world to say, that's out there and this is in here. I'm going to read this comment. Thank you so much. I've definitely been internalizing the fart in the room. Yes. Like I start worrying that something bad is going to happen in my immediate life, fam, because of the atmosphere. You're so safe. Yes. Actually made an anxious charm today. Yes. This is so powerful. You are not alone. We are all as intuitives feeling this energy. We're feeling this like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? We know that we're safe. We know that we're grounded. Use the fart analogy all the time. It has helped me in so many moments. It can help with, oh my God, my brain thinks that I'm this fart, this anxious fart in the room where I'm not. Because your brain is that muscle, it's that figuring out machine that's just looking for a problem to solve. So remember, I talk about this in my content, which is we don't get mad at our heart for beating or our lungs for breathing. So we can't get mad at our brain for braining. Your brain is going to brain. It wants to keep you safe. Every bit of your body is trying to say, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Say, that's out there. That's the fart. So I'm safe. I am okay. Deep belly breaths. Breathe into your body and know that's safe. Our brain's going to brain. It's going to keep doing its thing. That when I had that experience that I was talking about, I was like, who's talking? What's going on? I was like, my brain is braining. My brain is braining. And I just let it tucker itself out. Just like those big emotions when they come up. I'm like, okay, just feel them, just sink into a bubble bath. And like, I'm right here and I'm present and I'm here for it. I'm just here for it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's an absolute privilege to be here with you. It is an absolute privilege. And I feel so excited about this month. I feel as though big change is coming. And in a way that it's not out there change, I feel that it's the depths of the processing that we went through in October. We're changing. Our reactions to things are changing. The way that we see things are changing. I really agree with that. I just want to really honor every single one of the people that are in this group, that are watching, that are commenting. Everyone here, you are so safe and held. This is an incredible bucket that is being created, and it is so powerful that when we come together, we just say, like, I got this. I got this. I got this. I can do this. The more we fill ourselves up, and it comes from within. It comes from within. We can't give from an empty cup. We can't give from an empty bucket. We can't give from a space of less than. Just like you don't want to show up at a party that's 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. If we're 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10, that's actually a really great tool. I want to comment on this right now, which is when I do my morning meditations and when I check in with myself every single morning. And it doesn't have to be sitting in full meditation. It could be you're brushing your teeth, or you have a few mantras that you speak to yourself. But if you're feeling that impending out there, that anxiety outside of yourself, the farts all over the place, I want you to check in with yourself every morning before you see other people, before you pick up a phone, engage with anyone, and just say, what percent me am I feeling today? Do I feel 100% myself? Do I feel completely in control? My thoughts, words, actions, and intentions. I know where I'm going. I know where I am. I feel great. I feel grateful. Do I feel 60%? I'm like, I'm having some intrusive thoughts. I'm feeling not so great physically. I'm feeling a little bit emotional right now. I don't know what's going on. And then based off of that percentage, that's when I know going into each day what I can give, what I can offer, what I can show up for, all of it, all of it. So it's a great tool going into this month to say, okay, I know that I'm about 60, 50. If we get to 50%, be like, maybe I need a personal day. When was the last time I had a personal day? Maybe I can turn off my phone. Maybe I can turn off the content that I'm ingesting and putting out there. Maybe I can just do the, sometimes, and this is, I'm really going to mirror this for you. I'm going to do like my bare bones of what it is that I need to do for the next few weeks and really sink into an introspective time. Really sink into an introspective time. I recognize that I have been showing up exhausted and I wake up exhausted and I'm like, what's going on? And my God, you're like, because you're going through a massive upgrade and because we need to talk to you and we need you to take a step with yourself and be more with yourself in a way that not many people are like projectors. Y'all get it. You understand that. But there's so much that I'm working on and creating and processing and doing that. So for the next few weeks, I'm going to be doing what it is that I can do. Probably won't have my Monday videos and really just taking the time with my son going into my first house to show up as my full self. I take, yes, my brain is braining. I love you. That's okay too. Lean on your sisters and brothers. This is a very safe space. This community is safe, whether it's in my lives or in my regular videos. This is such a safe community. We speak from I statements. We are so supportive. Like, just know that there are people all over the world that want you to thrive, that want you to live your best life, that want you to have every single treasure that you could ever possibly imagine, every single blessing, all of it. Because your blessings don't take from me, mine don't take from you. But vibrationally, when we build each other up, everybody wins. Like, it's so it's so absurd to me that, like, when I say, no, no, I want everyone to win. I just want everyone to win. And people are like, what? What? Like, against party lines? I'm like, yeah, I want everyone to win. I want everyone to feel good and safe and to have a roof over their head and to be able to afford their wants and their needs and their desires, to be able to have community and, I mean, for me, good coffee, but maybe good juice or good tea, clean water, like all of the things. I want those blessings for everyone on the planet. There's enough for everyone. There's enough for everyone. And that's what Aquarius is going to be like, the Pluto and Aquarius transit. There's I love the check-in technique. I'm so excited. Please continue to utilize that. It is helpful so, so much. That's my Aquarius humanitarian placements. Yes. Aquarius placements, y'all are like, Aquarius, in my perspective, like, they don't understand the top down. They're like, no, 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 no. Everybody has a proper place. Everyone deserves to get paid appropriately, treated appropriately, all the things that they want. Everyone deserves it. And I'm so here for it. I'm so here for it. And I'm so please so grateful to find your channel. I'm so grateful that you did too. I'm so happy that you're here. This is such a blessing, an absolute blessing. I just want everyone to feel safe and loved and have what they need to survive. Yes, I'm doing my best for us all to win. Thank you. It's such a pleasure. It's just these types of mindsets. And please comment below, what Aquarius placements do you have? What house does Aquarius run for you if you know that? Do you have your sun and moon and rising in Aquarius? For me, my Venus is in Aquarius and it runs the fourth house for me of house and home in my pocket of the world, safety. And so I love that I get to connect with people all over the world from the safety of my own home. Mars in Aquarius in the 10th house. Yes, yes, yes. When I stumble upon a new channel, it's like yours is me leveling up to another. I'm celebrating you. I'm celebrating you. I'm celebrating you. And it was your comment that I mentioned in the November 2024 video that I recorded Literally, I was like, you will find my channel in the exact moment that you are supposed to find it. You find, like, it just finds you. All of a sudden, I'm on the page, I'm on this, and you're just like, this is my community. Yes, Mars in Aquarius 10th house, 12th house Aquarius, moon and rising, big baddie Pluto coming for me. This is insanely cool. Pluto, this is amazing. 1970, February 17th. This is a lot of upgrades, a lot of upgrades. So this is transformative energy. And like I said at the very beginning, and there was only a few people in the room when I was talking about this, which is this is Phoenix energy, Pluto, the lens. This is yay for the water bear, exactly. Pluto is the Phoenix, so it's like the first time that the Phoenix, went through its transformative cycles. Probably, what is going on? What on earth is going on? What on earth is going on? This is wild. And so now we've had regenerative cycles. We've had Pluto in Capricorn. We know what Pluto does to a house. We've all been here for a specific Pluto transit. This was Pluto went into Capricorn in 2008. So we understand what that theme is for that time period. This is a 20-year transit. This is a big deal. That's Gemini Sun and Aquarius midheaven. Not sure of the house. Aquarius ruling the 8th and the 9th house was an Aquarius Neptune. Amazing. Amazing. Yes, got an impromptu reading last night. She pulled the Phoenix Rising card for me. That's a huge deal. This is, I think it was yesterday. Yesterday, I heard the phrase, you're moving to the next level. You're leveling up. I think within like a half an hour, 3 times. Like different cards. I was pulling Oracle, I was pulling Tarot, and I was all over the place in like a few different books. It was like very like in my hermit space. And it was so cool to see you're leveling up, you're going to the next level, you're going to the next level, you're going to the next level, you're going to the next level. And it was just so powerful. It was just so powerful. This community, yes, yes, I love that. Evolution is the mission. That is such a powerful phrase because it's like the only constant is change. And I like to, make the analogy for people that maybe feel like stuck in their belief systems. Or like if you leave a garden unattended, it's just going to grow. It's just going to grow. The fruits, the vegetables, the weeds, everything, the flowers, they're all going to grow. So growth happens naturally. It's only our brains that say it has to be this small, or I'm taking up too much space, or I'm doing this, or I'm too different, or I'm too this, I'm too weird, I'm too that, I'm too this. Wouldn't it be so boring if we were all blades of grass? Wouldn't it be so uncomfortable? So like, oh God, I don't really know. I don't really like this. This isn't good. It feels like I'm taking up too much space. We have to take up the amount of space that we're supposed to. We're all individual puzzle pieces on this planet. We take up the amount of space that we are supposed to take up, as a puzzle piece does. Puzzle pieces are different. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller. But if everyone is a specific puzzle piece on the planet, you have to take up your space. You can't be that like sad little one that's wiggly. It has to be the full puzzle. Yes, I heard the level ups in the past few days and I spread that advice. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. Angela, that I feel as though the light workers just keep finding you at the right time that you needed. It's because like you're expressive and you're engaging in all of these things. It's beautiful. Yeah, share the page of that person. This is so incredible. When you find the right person that resonates, good. I'll highlight the person's page, the Moon Tree Intuitive. Awesome. Awesome. And Angela, you felt really good about the reading. Awesome. It was the Phoenix Rising. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I feel like, see how quantum that is? That person's message to you has just now spread to everyone in this group to be able to level up. That's the Aquarian age. That's literally it. These messages find you right when you need them, right when you need them. And I wanted to highlight something that time flies in this group, literally. Like the hour flies by, absolutely, every single time. Is that there have been moments in my life that I've only been able to watch from the sidelines, or I've only been able to sit in a way where I'm like, I can't talk, or I can't comment, or I can't participate, or I can't do the things. One of the biggest wins in my personal relationships is when I can show up to, a bonfire or barbecue and I just sit back and I can just and I don't have to say a thing. I don't have to do a thing. I don't have to show up. I don't have to, say, "Oh, what do you think of this?" or "What do you think of this?" I don't have to feel on, if you will. And that's when I blend those two worlds together and I say to myself, "It's okay to just be pensive. It's okay to receive. It's okay to not feel as though you have to be a part of the conversation or be a part of the thing or be part of the that. Just know that you showed up. Just know that you showed up in exactly the way that you needed to show up. And that's a big deal. I love that feeling too. I only feel that way around my family. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. It's so precious. And there have been moments where I didn't have that, where I didn't have anyone that I could just be around because I was nervous. And I was like, what if I'm myself? What if I don't say anything? Or what if I'm not the Sarah that they know and love and need? Like, what if I don't do all the things and I'm not but sure I don't have makeup on, I don't have the sparkles, I'm not pulling cards, or what if I just show up as a person? And the people that know me and that love me and respect me the most, there's no expectations. I offer things when I can offer them. I don't offer things when I can't offer them. I take time for myself and I'm trying not to, you know, not trying, I'm working on just sinking into that calm, that space, that trust, that knowingness of just you just show up and look at the fire and know that you don't have to do anything else but that. Sinking in, the sinking in. Yes. Let me see if there's any. I mentioned at the beginning that the strength card keeps popping up for me, the Leo card. And so we have the changing world over here, like strength, Leo, changing world, and then the Scorpio card right over here. We're all going into a new time period that will be, we as human beings, we're going to be great. We're going to make it like the it's just I'm seeing this dawn coming, this beautiful just like how this space grows and how everyone just finds their voice. I find it to be so beautiful and it's soft. The strength card, yeah. There's two figure eights. The one that's, the around her waist, then around the lion's neck, and then again it's backwards. I always feel weird. Then the figure eight up here, the infinity symbol. So we're all going to be just fine. We're all going to be just fine. It's all working itself out. The end of that Capricorn age. Giving and receiving. Beautiful. 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 I love this group so much. I'm so grateful for every single one of you. I am going to be, like I said, taking a little break for the next week or so just to really fill up my own cup. I've been waking up really exhausted and it's like I know that I'm doing things in the astral. I know that I'm going through this level up. I know that I'm going through it. So I'm probably not going to be having lives just for the next little bit. I'm seeing my sister on the 11th, so I wasn't doing that. I wasn't going to be able to do it anyways. So my next live is going to be on the 18th. It's going to be the day before the Pluto transit. I'm really excited about that. I feel as though like we're all experiencing this together, yet in our own respective communities. I can't wait for times that we get to meet in person. That's definitely for sure. Definitely for sure. And McKenna, I'm so grateful for you all. I really mirror that, McKenna. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for every single one of you. This has been such a profound new space that I'm really excited about nurturing, nourishing, moving forward. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. This has been like as soon as I got, if you've been here for a little bit, as soon as I got the laptop, I literally started doing the live like right away. I was like, yes, this is great. And it feels as effortless as breathing to integrate this into my every week, into what it is that I'm doing. I think that there's way more like I'm getting emotional thinking about it. Like there's way more up leveling, but also processing that I'm doing that maybe I'm not fully aware of, that maybe I haven't really fully seen yet, and maybe I don't need to see. But I don't want to show up without having a full cup for all of you. So please, as always, reach out directly if you need something. I will have my November video up soon. I've already uploaded. I'm just going to post it tomorrow and then I'll timestamp it. There's tons of information about the new moon, tons of information about, like, I still have Scorpio season, so that gets us forward. So there'll be so much more to come. And then on the 18th is when we'll have a live again. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm just excited to see everyone again. I can't wait to hear about what big changes and beautiful things happen for every single one of us. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.